The first one would be that you need to get a lot more retailers into this country. If you look at the size of the organized retail market, it's about 7-8% of the total market. And who are the players finally in this? I mean, the main key players are the Future Group and Reliance Retail. Beyond that, there aren't anybody else. So obviously, there is an opportunity for a lot more international retailers to come into this market on a significant scale. So that's the first thing which is there. The second thing is that when you look at retail, peculiarly, retail is actually considered as trade and treated as a state subject. So what happens typically is that, the state governments do a lot of things. So whether it's about the Shops and Establishment Act, whether it's about the Payment of Wages Act, whether it's about Labor Act, etc., a lot of it is implemented at the state level. Different states have got different understanding of what needs to be done. So it's useful to have a common code which national retailers can operate with across, which allows for a lot of the changes to be brought in. So simple things like, a lot of us don't have, labor registers any longer. We all use swipe cards and people come in and attendance is recorded in the system. But according to the Shops and Establishments Act, you're supposed to maintain a labor register where the employee comes in every day and signs against their name and things like that. Now, when you have 50, 60 employees per store kind of situation, imagine something like that being done on a routine basis. It adds a lot of work and duplicates some of the things which are currently being done electronically. So if the government can actually help simplify a lot of these rules, it will help retailers to also perform much better.
We need to realize that our biggest constraint is the cost of acquisition of raw land. Today, unfortunately for developers, getting prime land at appropriate, when I say appropriate, it ultimately translates to the kind of rental paying capacity of retailers, is the biggest challenge we have. That's point number one. The second thing, of course, unfortunately, a much touted, much browbeaten fact is of regulation. Getting a project off the ground into fruition is a long, arduous and exhausting process. But the entire lifespan of getting a mall off the drawing board to final execution is long, tedious and cumbersome. That is what pulls developers down, frankly.
In retail industry, of course, the rental. I think for us, like I said, because we are a charity brand, we don't want to spend up, a huge amount on rental. But having said that, India is the most expensive place for retail as far as real estate is concerned. So that is the biggest challenge for us. So we do our homework very strongly. That is exactly the reason we are at 16 stores now. Otherwise, I would have been today sitting at 50 stores if I want to just blindly sign. But we look at our numbers. We don't want to go after 6 months to the mall team and say, Chief, I'm not doing good. Please reduce my. I don't want. We are not in that game.
I don't believe in magic, but I do believe that India's scenario will change because of the given requirement of the market, and it's progressing very, very fast. However, there is one challenge that premium retailer like ours do feel in the market, which is the retail development. The cost of retail development is very, very high in India. It's compared to any other part of the world. And yet, you cannot price your product at the same level. So this hits the bottom line pretty hard. But I'm sure in near future, there will be more premium retail development for our kind of brands, and the costs or the pricing would adjust as per the market demand.
When I say that not a lot of centers are being built, does not necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. Maybe centers are being built at the right pace. Maybe this is the pace our country needs. The pace that was 6 years ago saying 600 shopping centers will be built was wrong. So in my opinion, it's not something wrong that's happening, that there are fewer centers being built. I think it's the right pace that the centers are being built at. So I see no harm in that.
Within the retail segment, irrespective of the industry stream that you're in, the common factor across them is that the customer today that they are addressing is becoming more and more discerning. And I'm obviously stating the obvious here, but I'm stating that because it has some grave implications for people who don't recognize that early enough as a trend and model their products or services according to that. that discernment is at two levels. One is that they expect their product that they have been using maybe for several years, they expect that product to be delivering them more than what it has been. And you see that in mobile phones, for example, where the whole revolution is not more on account of the intrinsic sort of technology within that particular handset, but the software or the ecosystem around it that has been created to excite the customer further. So he expects, for example, his phone, which we may have bought 2 years ago, to deliver him more today. And that is because of not the phone's technology to be improved, but the system around it. And telephone or handset manufacturers have realized that, and which is why they're making the experience more and more rich for a customer. I suspect that's going to be translated in a lot of other product categories, even FMCG for that matter. The other challenge that I see is that at the second level of discernment is that the customer today is changing. The customer's perception today is changing at a far greater or faster pace than previously when it comes to the price-value equation. The fact is that it is, for him, the price is not whether it's expensive or less expensive or more expensive, but what is the value that I will derive out of it. And that's connected to what I had said earlier. The experience being richer, he doesn't mind paying more. So that price-value equation needs to also be addressed by any retailer going forward. Even, for example, even if it is a question of being if you're a mall owner, for example, today some malls seem to do better than the other, despite the fact that both those malls have the same kind of retailers within them as tenants, and it's not that one mall is less accessible than the other or more accessible than the other. The fact is, the successful malls that are able to provide generate the footfalls is on account of the fact that they are giving a richer experience to the customer. So they're not waiting for the retailer, for example, to pull the customer or give the footfall, but they're doing things around the mall or within the mall that ensure that there is enough excitement created by the consumer to make it a destination.
We should not now run after just the number game, how many stores and all those things, because those things are now over. It is now, the brand should understand that if the profits are not made, what is the fun of having just the numbers? So the next industry should understand that to slow down a bit, correct the numbers right, and then further on, depending upon the acceptance of the brand and the demand and all those things, should again re-energize and restart thinking about it.
I think, everybody talks about it. Some people are working on it. I think people problem is one of the biggest problem in this industry. Getting a trained manpower, getting a stable and trained manpower is extremely difficult. I mean, either if you get good people, they are hopping across for a very, very small increments. Building a career within retail is still not, people see retail as a stop and hop kind of a position. It's a problem, I think, which most retailers are struggling to ensure that low turnover happens and you get quality people. In travel retail, it is much more difficult because, you need people who understand multiple currencies. You need people who understand complicated rules of airports. Now you need also, there are, airport passes involved. So you need, it's replacing a guy is a lot more difficult in a travel retail. So the problem is same, but it is much more serious for us because travel retail is just about evolving. The industry would demand a lot of trained manpower, which we don't have today. So we have to take people and then train them and then hope that they stick with us in the long run. It's importing the talent is also not, because there are idiosyncrasies. I mean, there are things which are unique to Indian culture. And I'm talking about not, importing a CEO is still possible. Importing a floor staff is extremely difficult. So you have to train people, and I think people who have, training on the job kind of a possibility, wherein like we have some stores in Bombay If I have to hire, we opened Delhi as a location. It was easy because we just hired people, brought them to Bombay, put them into our workforce, trained them, then sent them back. I mean, people who have that kind of feasibility is still possible. You can run an internal school kind of a thing. But on an overall basis, I think the entire industry has got this severe problem of talented manpower who see retail as a career option. I mean, people who are doing retail not because of force, but because they love to do it, because they like to interact with people, because they have a skill set which is perfect to that industry. I think people is the biggest problem. There are some agencies which are working on it. There are some schools which are evolving. There are some individuals who are working on that direction. But we need a lot more effort from practically everyone on that.
Real estate is clearly the biggest challenge in terms of making retail profitable. And possibly one of the greatest reasons for e-commerce explosion. It's just more profitable. E-commerce is more profitable. But retail space, the right retail space, having enough retail space. We as a brand are not a great high street brand. So for us, it's very connected to the growth of malls. I think that's a big challenge to us. I would say that's number one. Number two, I think, would be the right staffing, training at the front end. Giving an experience of luxury, giving experience of the great service that it needs is a tough call.